Well, thanks, Emily. Well, you mentioned earlier. Let's introduce our new friend. This is Gunter, the snowman, right here. We built him out. But as you mentioned earlier, that freezing rain, yeah, for us here, as you can see on my jacket, it's turned a lot darker. That is turned into liquid rain. It is liquefied fully. But before we get into that, I want to talk more, Caleb, about what we saw this morning. Can you talk to me more about the conditions when we woke up?
So I guess when I woke up this morning, it was gorgeous out here. And, big fat snowflakes falling all over the place, but the roadway conditions are not. We took a little test drive earlier. I don't know if you can see the skid marks, but we were slipping and sliding all over the place. I spoke with the EMA director here in Marshall County, who said the road conditions here are treacherous. If you don't have to go outside, don't. But if you do, avoid major roadways, exercise extreme caution, don't hard brake, and try not to slip and slide. Gabe?
Yeah, I want to talk more about the roadway conditions real quick. Obviously, we just heard from Caleb, but I think the best way to describe the roadways here is kind of like my favorite drink, a slushy from 7-Eleven. They may be always open, but while these roadways may be open, the best thing to do if you don't have a lot of practice, if you don't have anywhere to go, stay home, like the officials say. But I want to talk more about the conditions that we're dealing with right now, and how they've kind of changed quickly in these last couple of hours here. A couple hours ago, we were talking about flurries. We were talking about snow. We were talking about it was gorgeous outside, kind of right out of a movie. Then that snow turned into frozen rain, or we call it sleet. Well, and now, just in the last 30, 45 minutes, as we were setting up, I noticed I wasn't really being hit with pellets. I was being hit with liquid rain. And now everything is kind of starting to get to kind of pour down on our parade. But
Very much
we were
wet.
talking about it. We were talking about it earlier. And Caleb, how would you describe these conditions?
Wet, in all honesty. I would agree with you that it was very much like a slushy. There's snow on top, some ice underneath, and then at the very bottom you have a layer of water. These cars that are driving along the roadway here, they're just kicking up ice and water as they go. When the rain and the sleet and the snow mixes with the roadway's oils, it creates black ice, which is an extreme hazard for those on the road today.
Yeah, and we've been seeing a lot of cars, not a lot of cars, but quite a few trucks, and even those trucks that may have all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, we could hear it. It sounded like they were going through a bunch of sludge. So again, we want to reiterate: if you have nowhere to be, you don't have to be on the roads. Stay at home; it's the safest thing to do. But later on today, we're going to hear more from the Marshall County EMA director, and we're going to tell you more about the snow totals. We took some ruler pictures at our own little science experiment here. But for now, from Guntersville, for Caleb Aguayo, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.